Welcome to Journey of Faith, Homeschooler to Business Owner, episode number 6. I'm your host, Renee Berry. One question I was asked a lot was, what do you use to teach your boys? First of all, the Lord qualified me for the call by steering me in the ways in which I should teach my children. I did not know how to just homeschool my children off the bat. I had to be led. I had to seek and find the areas He wanted me to go in. The Bible says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door shall be open. Matthew 7, verse 7. I knew there were areas of study that I myself did not do well in, like math, for instance. And also, I wanted them to have science classes, especially as they got older, with science labs. Teaching them a foreign language in high school was not in the cards for me. So that was something I had no intentions of teaching. In other words, I was not going to be teaching them every subject and every grade. That's the beauty of homeschooling. You don't have to teach it all. I did a lot of research and knew I did not want to just wing it. I knew I needed a curriculum for them in order for our homeschool to flow properly. I needed that for me. I was familiar from my research of the books, what to teach in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and so on, just to keep myself aware of what they should be learning at what age and grade. I familiarized myself with the different homeschool methods such as unschooling, classical, Charlotte Mason, online, and school from home, to name a few. I won't go into all the methods, but you can find out about them by pulling up homeschool methods on YouTube, and you will get schooled on each one of them. I did 2 methods in our homeschool. I needed structure, and because I went to traditional school myself, I felt comfortable with the school from home method, and one of my boys took an online curriculum in 9th grade called Switched on Schoolhouse. The school from home method is where you purchase all the textbooks and workbooks just like you would at a traditional school, and you just teach using them from home. Most of our curriculum was Bible-based and some were not. For example, in 2nd grade, for Bible, we used a church curriculum and a video. Example, one of their lessons was about forgiveness, and we used a video called Franklin Forgives. For history, we used a curriculum called 5 in a Row. 5 in a Row is a unit-based study with great books that we could either purchase or get from the library. One of the books was The Duchess Bakes a Cake, and we were studying medieval times for the month of August. We saw a video on knights and picked up a huge cardboard box to make a castle. For early math grades, there were worksheets, flashcards, and video math practice games. Physical ed, both boys went to Taekwondo twice a week. In 3rd through 4th grade, they used a math curriculum called Saxon Math. In 5th through 12th, they used a math curriculum software called Teaching Textbooks, which was, it was awesome. I learned to enjoy math from this software. When I began teaching them, I was blessed to have this wonderful Christian homeschool bookstore in town. It was in Kirkwood, Missouri, called the Homeschool Sampler. Boy, did I love that bookstore. So many homeschool families were able to sample curriculum and books by looking through them and asking questions before purchasing them. There was also school supplies there and a consignment area where you could purchase used curriculum and books at a discounted rate. What I loved most about this bookstore was the owners had trained their children, at very young ages, so well in handling the business. Their children ran the bookstore. They were very knowledgeable about most curriculum and pretty much could answer any question you had as well as ring you out with your purchases. So this is where I purchased most of my curriculum for both boys. There were also homeschool conventions for an entire weekend every year for the entire family. Here you could purchase all of your curriculum, listen to different speakers, and meet like-minded parents. My boys were 18 months apart, So they were in the same grades together throughout most of their earlier grades, which made it a lot easier on me. That did not mean that I just let them do school alone. In their middle school and high school classes, they did most of their classes by themselves, with me supervising and answering questions when needed. My older son needed more help, which afforded me to spend time with him one on one. The number one question people asked about was da 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 da, the S word, socialization, of course. How does your children socialize with other children? Well, if you have been listening to this podcast, you already know the answer to that question. For those new to the podcast, please check out episode number 4. I won't go into all the details that I explained in that episode, but I would like to add to it. When I mentioned I did not teach them everything, I enrolled them into homeschool co-op classes. They took English classes, science classes, upper math classes, art classes, health, to name a few. Some were taught by homeschool parents and others by teachers. As you have discovered from listening to this podcast, my children had plenty of opportunities to socialize in every grade. And being a homeschooler did not mean you were being taught from home all the time. We were on the go throughout most of their homeschool experience. This made it nice to meet new friends, debate with others in debate class, and just have that experience with other teachers. So as you can see, it can be done. It's something to really take into consideration how your children learn and what would be the best way to teach them. The Lord will lead you. You will be surprised at how it all flows as you seek Him. I never said it was easy. There were many times I had to switch curriculum, for instance, math for one son. What worked for one did not necessarily work for the other. Find what works for you and your children, and whatever you do, be consistent because consistency is the key. Thanks for taking the time once again to listen to Journey of Faith, Homeschooler to Business Owner. I look forward to you coming back for the next episode.